Hello, and thank you for joining. Today, we're going to take a look at Mitsubishi Electric's new MXZ System Design Tool, an Excel tool to help you properly design multi-zone Mitsubishi whole home heating and cooling solutions. As you can see, the Mitsubishi product line continues to grow in terms of indoor units available as well as outdoor units available, and the number of possible compatible configurations just continues to grow to an endless number of possibilities. As you can see, we have wall-hung units, ceiling cassettes, floor-standing models, limited static air handlers, and in 2015, a unitary-style air handler capable of filling the whole home ductwork with air. This new air handler comes in 5 capacities. It's available upflow, downflow, horizontal left, or horizontal right without any kit. It completely disassembles to fit into small spaces, and electric heating kits are available. When connecting any of these indoor units to our standard multi-zone outdoor units, we can connect a minimum of 2, as many as 3, 4, or 5 indoor units. And we do indeed have the ability to mix and match with quite a bit of flexibility. When going to more than 5 indoor units, or when the application calls for a branch box, allowing us to run only one larger diameter line set into the building, we have the ability again to use 2, 3, 4, 5, or as many as 8 indoor units, and like before, with great flexibility in terms of our ability to mix and match indoor units. When utilizing a hyperheat multi-zone outdoor, we have the ability to connect 2 or 3 indoor units only. 2 or 3 indoor units with line sets running directly to the outdoor unit. But in the event that we wanted a multi-zone outdoor unit with 4, 5, or as many as up to 8 indoor units, we would indeed need to use branch boxes. And when utilizing these C-generation multi-zone units with the new MVZ multi-position air handler, it's important to understand a few configuration rules. The configuration rules are different for the port type versus the branch box models. On a port type model, when not using an MVZ air handler, connected capacity simply must be less than 130% of the outdoor unit's capacity. As long as using a compatible indoor unit and not adding them up to exceed 130% of the outdoor unit's capacity, that is considered compatible. But once an MVZ is used, and you're only allowed one MVZ on a port-style model, total connected capacity can no longer exceed 100%. Additionally, when using an MVZ air handler on a port-type multi-zone, no P-Series light commercial indoor units can be used. When looking at branch box models, there's more flexibility. When using a multi-zone branch box model with an MVZ air handler, additional indoor units can be connected up to that same 130% of the outdoor unit's capacity, cooling capacity specifically. When 2 of those MVZ air handlers are used, however, no additional indoor units may be used, unless using the accessory SPTB1, Separate Power Terminal Block 1. Separate Power Terminal Block 1, or SPTB1, allows the contractor to run power wiring to that MVZ air handler independently from the outdoor unit, requiring that we only run communication wire from the outdoor unit to the air handler. By powering it separately, we now have the ability to add more indoor units than just those 2 MVZs. We could add additional wall-hung, floor-standing, ceiling cassette, or ducted models. We can, in fact, use up to 4 MVZ air handlers at once. Separate power terminal block kit looks like this. Just a little kit with a couple of wires and Molex plugs, allowing for the contractor to not simply run power and communication to the typical S1, S2, S3, but leaving communication to S2, S3, and power gets run separately to these new terminals, L1 and L2. The reason I run through all of this is to give you a preview of what these rules may be before diving into the Excel tool. Let's take a look at the Excel tool now. I'm looking at this new MXZ system design tool. You'll find that there are light green boxes, like the ones I'm highlighting now, which all contain drop-down menus or the ability to manipulate the data. When bringing the drop-down menu on top left down, it allows me to select one of the 6 hyperheat multi-zone models and or any of the 5 C-generation standard models. If I were to select a non-branch box and or what we call a port type model, you'll see over here there are no prompts for branch box information. And in this 3-zone 30,000 BTU model, I have 3 cells open for indoor units to be selected. Once I pick a branch box model, I am now prompted to let the design tool know how many branch boxes I plan on using, and what the appropriate line set lengths would be. Additionally, once I go to a 5 or an 8-zone model, for example, I now have 8 cells to select indoor models. And as I continue to select indoor models, the spreadsheet does the math for me and identifies at what % of outdoor units capacity I have reached. In the event that I go above 100%, still an allowable configuration, but once I get to the point that I've exceeded 130%, the tool goes ahead and warns me that I have done something incompatible. In this case, it's warning me that I need to have 2 branch boxes selected because I do have 6 indoor units selected. Once I go to 2 branch boxes, it prompts me for the lengths of A, C, and D. In this image below, I can reference where length A, where length C, and where length D may be. Additionally, lengths B from the branch box to the indoor units all get inputted in these cells here. Now I'm still incompatible because I'm over 130%, but by highlighting a cell and deleting that indoor unit, I bring myself back down within the allowable 130%, and this once again becomes an allowable configuration. When working with my customer, I have the ability to customize room names. For example, they have a child named David. I could name Zone 4 David's room. I can name Zone 5 the office, or whatever we happen to be working with at that home. Really creating a customized solution for the homeowner. Additionally, you'll note that this 8-zone 48,000 BTU model has 54,000 BTUs worth of indoor units connected to it. With 54,000 BTUs worth of indoor units connected to a 48,000 BTU model, I certainly can't expect to see 9,000 BTUs of cooling coming from this 9,000 BTU model. I can, however, expect 7462. So what that's doing is it's telling me how many BTUs I could expect if and when they all call at the same time. The other thing I'd like to point out is that the GE09 model, which is considered to be the standard model when talking single zone product, versus the FH09 model, considered to be a hyperheat model when talking single zone product, both have the same exact heating capacity of 8421. There is no benefit in terms of heating capacity by choosing what's otherwise known as a hyperheat model compared to selecting a standard. This is true of all indoor units connected to a multi-zone hyperheat outdoor unit. Any indoor unit connected to a hyperheat multi-zone outdoor unit enjoys the heating capacity and other attributes that you could expect from any other hyperheat model. Other features of the MXE design tool include the ability to modify the heating and cooling design temperatures. By modifying the design temperatures, any changes in expected capacity will go ahead and modify mathematically. They also have the ability to modify line set lengths. 801, that would be a lot. Let me change that to 80. As I change my line set lengths, the design tool is doing the mathematics to identify how much refrigerant needs to be weighed in based on this combination of indoor units and those combinations of line set lengths. In this particular example, it's telling me that that outdoor unit comes pre-charged from the factory with 10 pounds, 9 ounces of refrigerant, and that on installation day I'll need to weigh in an additional 10 pounds, 9 ounces. In the event that I modify those line set lengths, you can see that that estimated or calculated additional refrigerant charge required does change. In addition to all of these other items here on the configuration screen that I'm showing you, we have other tools down at the bottom, known as worksheets. In this worksheet, for example, called pipe connection sizes, it allows me to reference exactly which port sizes are available on the 5-zone as well as the 3-zone branch boxes, at the same time telling me which port sizes are required or which line set diameters will be required by the indoor units that I have selected. If I create an example such as that 3-zone 30,000 BTU outdoor unit, with 3 9,000 BTU indoor units connected, and I delete the other units, leaving me with 3 9s connected to a 30, and I go back to pipe connection sizes, what this has done for me is shown me that on that port style model, I have ports 1, 2, and 3, giving me available ports with 1/4 by half, 1/4 by 3/8, and 1/4 by 3/8. When referencing what I will need for my 3 indoor units, they all need 1/4 by 3/8. This is an easy way for me to identify that I'm going to need a port adapter. The port adapter I'm going to be needing is a 1/2 by 3/8 port adapter. Port adapters are always named outdoor by indoor dimension, 1/2 by 3/8. When I come up here and reference which port adapters I may need, 1/2 by 3/8 is the second one here, not 3/8 by half, outdoor by indoor, 1/2 by 3/8, MAC A455 JP. And when I move to the accessories screen, I could go ahead and identify that I'm going to need one MAC A455 JP, deleting anything else that I may not need. At which point I've identified accessories that I'm needing, and I'll point out the accessories for the port style model I have selected are in bold. The ones for the branch box style models have been grayed out. If I were to select the branch box model, these would become bold and accessible. Now that I've selected an indoor unit with outdoor units, or an outdoor unit with indoor units, and the appropriate accessories based on referencing pipe connection sizes, I do have the ability to go to the 4th and final worksheet, which identifies pricing. Pricing is all based on Mitsubishi current list pricing, and therefore this spreadsheet should be replaced anytime that a list pricing sheet changes. It does come saved with a multiplier of 1.0. If you know a multiplier that you choose to purchase or sell Mitsubishi at, you can put that multiplier in, and this will do the math for you, identifying exactly what you could expect the equipment to cost. At which point, we have an Excel tool here that helped us design a system, understanding which capacities we could expect in this configuration, understanding how much refrigerant will need to be weighed in, with the ability to modify design temperatures, identify needed accessories, and pricing. We have the ability to find all of this information in one place, as opposed to finding the capacities on a submittal, the accessories in a different location, calling your distributor for pricing, and having to go several places, you find everything here all in one place. I hope that you found this webinar to be helpful, and we wish you luck.